Well, hi everybody, this is DearMamaSal, and it's Sunday evening, and I don't normally broadcast on a Sunday evening, or rather do vlogs, but guess what? Tomorrow I'm going out, so I thought to make sure that you guys get a vlog in tomorrow, it'd be a good idea if I did the vlog tonight, and then I can put it up tonight and schedule it to go up for tomorrow, so that everything will seem the same. And I have to remember to look right there, as opposed to right in front of me, because that's where the camera is. And you know I want to look right at myself, right? Okay, we can do this. All right, first of all, weekend update. It's been a really good weekend, and I was wondering if you'd like to join me for a coffee, because, yeah. That's so good. It's my caramel latte. And first of all, I wanted to really say that on Friday we had an awesome broadcast, and we had a new viewer come in and talk to us. You know, sometimes, you know, some of these broadcasts we laugh a lot, and sometimes we deal with general knowledge, and sometimes we deal with people's issues. And this young lady who came in has had a terrible situation where she's divorced, and that was difficult. And she made a very interesting decision when she got divorced. She decided she didn't want alimony. What she wanted was a commitment from her ex that he would look after the needs of the children for, you know, for as long as they needed it, which, you know, was very good thinking, except she realized that it left her without any money. And so he gets to do all the good things with the children. And she was really having some problems with that, and including the fact that the children now are into their teens. What she found was that it's getting more and more difficult for them to do anything. And she's become the bad person because she doesn't have money and can't buy them the things that they want. And one of the things I talked about to her was, you know, when we remember our parents, and I ask you all to do this, when we remember our parents, I don't think we remember the Xbox. We remember the family picnic, or the time that the boat disappeared when our backs were turned, or it's the small things we remember, the trip to the beach, when we had sand in our sandwiches. You know, we remember those sort of things. We don't necessarily remember the newest bike, the as I said, the, you know, iPhone, the whatever. I don't think that's what children will remember. The other thing I tried to remind her of, and I'm certain a lot of you will agree with this as well, that, you know, it's amazing that mothers will always be mothers. And whatever they go through now as they go through their teenage years, and some of you call that the terrorist years, I know, but as they go through their teenage years, yeah, they do lose touch a little bit in terms of they don't need mum as much. But, you know, when their heart gets broken, they're going to need her. And when they need to understand certain stuff, they're going to need her back. And it's been my experience that come about 23, 25, you know, they'll really start to appreciate you all over again. So hang in there. And for those of you who've been through this, maybe you can add some good words for this person to help them through this difficult time. The other thing we did on Friday night was we had our Fun Friday painting session. And this was by popular demand from some of the broadcast viewers, and they wanted me to paint some candles. And we ended up, hang on, I'm just having a look here. We ended up doing a marbled candle, and then I had also showed them how to do one that looked like this. And then we ended up with quite a few things. So if any of you are interested in that sort of stuff, there are 3 different videos that I put up. One was how to paint a rose, and the other was how to paint one of these. There was one on how to paint the cherry blossom, and then I also did some face painting. So they're all up there on the YouTube channel if any of you want to have a look at them. They're all already there. I've edited them already, and they went up. I spent the whole day, so yesterday, instead of relaxing, I actually edited most of the day. Now, the conversation I wanted to have with quite a few of you is the fact that I had to fight the devil today. Now, the reason I had to fight the devil was because, you know, I've got this new thing that I'm doing where I have certain things slotted into each hour that keeps me on track of what I need to do as opposed to what I want to do. Well, guess what? The number one thing for today was actually go for a walk. Well, then the voice inside my head called Gertrude started. And she really is a devil. And she started on, well, yeah, but you know, you really need to tidy up your bedroom. And you need to tidy up the kitchen. And suddenly everything in the world was more important than going for a walk. Now, I'm learning that that is what I have to overcome. Yeah, I have to fight the devil. So I'm going, yeah, Gertrude, all those things are important, and most of them will get done because I want to get them done. But, you know, going for a walk is the one I least want to do, so it's the one I need to start with. And as I've said to many of you before, the battle is to get out of the front door. Now, I've got added pressure now because then I'm going, yes, but if I go out of the front door and I actually walk, will I need to run? Because, you know, some of you know I've been trying to run. That in itself has been quite exciting. And then I started to get a bit scared. You know, I managed to get up to, don't laugh too much, but 110 paces the last time I went out. So you understand I'm a bit concerned because, you know, what if I don't do that? What if I fail? I'll be letting so many people down, including myself. And I decided if I just went for a walk, that would be good. I didn't need to put any more pressure on myself. Just get out of the door, go for a walk. So I got out of the door and I got to the point where I had to make that decision. And I actually recorded it for you, so I'm going to add it in right here. And the funny thing was, I did 150 paces and I was breathing more easily than I did with 110. I don't understand that. That means, if you think about it, that in 2 weeks, I have gone up 50% of my capability, right? Because I started off with 100, then went to 110, then to 120. I did 150, which means that's 50% more than I started with. Wow. That's quite exciting. So fighting the devil worked for me because by the time I got back, I was feeling very good about myself, I must say. I really did feel that I had done something good for me. And not only that, but I came back and I got a lot of the things done that I knew I wanted to get done, and I got them done fairly quickly. I'm still way behind for today, but I'm okay because this is more important that I put the video down so that you won't lose out tomorrow night. Now, we had a great discussion. I'm sorry to laugh, but we had a great discussion on tonight's broadcast. We were talking about passive-aggressive behaviors. Now, if you want to know what a passive-aggressive behavior is, it would be that look that your mother used to give you. You know, the one that could control you completely. You knew exactly what she was thinking and she didn't have to say anything. And it was very aggressive and you could feel it cut through your soul, if I'm correct. My mother's look was priceless. It also is the sort of thing that people do. Let me try and think about this, give you some examples of this. Okay, you ask little Johnny if he will take out the garbage, and what he does is he actually puts all the garbage in the wrong things if you've got recycling, to make sure that you won't ask him to do it again. And some people have husbands or wives that do that sort of thing. You know, just intentionally do things wrong so that you won't ask them to do it again. Or how about the constant procrastination, just to see how much up your nose they can really get. You know, you said you were going to do X, Y, and Z. Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah, in this lifetime? You know. So all these sort of things are all pretty passive-aggressive type things. They're about control. So we had quite a conversation, and after we discussed the sort of people that drive us insane, I then obviously had to ask the question, how many of these behaviors do we do? Because I'm pretty good at a couple of them. My favorite one is the getting a little bit upset and going to my kitchen And I find that my kitchen doors make, I've got lots of cupboard doors in my kitchen. And I can make a lot of noise with those. And I'll keep doing it until somebody eventually says, what's wrong? And you know what I'm going to say? Nothing. And I lie. That's one of my favorite ones. I'm certain that you've all got yours. Perhaps you'd care to share them, because that would be quite interesting for everybody else, I'm sure. I think it's only fair to tell you I'm 53 days away from retirement, and somebody asked me the question, Sal, is that working days or days? And that's days. I am that close. Did I say 53? I think I meant 58. Sorry, 58 days away from retirement. The 3s and the 8s look a lot alike when you haven't got your glasses on, which I haven't. Not that it's written anywhere here, it's just for some reason in my mind it didn't read it right. It's 58. So that's getting pretty close. It's very exciting. And I know that I'm going to have lots of fun doing stuff. And hopefully you will have lots of fun while I do stuff. Cheers. Oh, that sounds good. Now, I was talking a bit on the broadcast this evening about the fact that, in my day, the Kodak company was a really big company, one of the major companies in the world. And, if you had money in Kodak, you knew you got good money. It was a bit like being in IBM in the original early days. But Kodak, like IBM, suddenly got hit by technology. For example, Kodak, made a fortune in photographic film, paper, actually, in photographic paper alone. And within a 5-year period, it went from being this huge conglomerate into bankruptcy because we came up with digital cameras. Suddenly there wasn't any need for photographic paper, or very little. And you might wonder, why am I talking about that? Well, I was hearing somewhere today that Uber, we'd never heard of it a few years ago. Today it's the largest taxi company in the world, and it doesn't own a single vehicle. I was hearing today that, probably in the next 10 years or so, we won't need a car because there'll be so many driverless cars running around that literally you will just pick up your phone, press a button, and there'll be one at the door. And you'll get in and you'll just key in, for Safeway, and it'll take you there. And by the way, you won't have to worry about change or anything because it'll all be done electronically. Your bank will be debited and, you won't have to give it a tip. And you won't have to listen to the stories. And I was thinking along the lines of how many different things are going to totally change. I was reading that they reckon that they're now developing agricultural robots that will be able to, pull weeds and do the work that a lot of agricultural people do these days. I was reading that the car business, as we know it, your standard cars, you can forget about those. But the Teslas and those companies that have gone ahead and really looked into battery-driven cars and self-drive and no driverless cars, so forth, those ones will be making money. And so you look at it, and what I was saying to my viewers in the broadcast today was the most important thing for us to do is to embrace change. I want us to keep talking about all these things that they're coming up with, because if we talk about it, it won't be a big shock when it happens. We'll go, yeah, we were talking about that 5 years ago. I can remember when we had that discussion, and I thought she was insane, but you know something? It's right. I'm looking at how today I don't have to go to the bank to deposit a check anymore. I can just take a picture of it and throw a special app in my phone, and I can do that. I haven't quite worked out how to get money out of my phone yet, but I'm certain that's coming. I look at it all, And I go, very exciting times are coming, and they're coming so fast that most of us won't have time to think. And so, this week, I would ask you all to do a couple of things. Number one, remember not only what you remember about your childhood memories with your parents, and if you're lucky enough to have parents that are still alive, please make sure you thank them for those special memories, because life is about memories. It's not about things. And for those of you who, like myself, no longer have parents, remember that it's really important that we do the things with children, be it ours or their neighbours next door if we can, whatever, that we take them out and we do the fun things that children love, because we'll enjoy it too. Really. Our inner kid wants to go back to the park, and our inner kid wants to go wade in the sand again. You do. You know that. You want to eat ice cream. You want an excuse to go eat ice cream. Children are your excuse. Really. And in terms of fighting the devil, for those of you like me who are fighting that devil that wants you to stay inside when you know you need to go out for a walk, remember, I'm fighting it big time, but I really have doubled the amount I can run just by fighting it. That's quite exciting. So whatever your bugaboo is, and you know what it is, I don't, try fighting the devil this week. And remember, if you can, that every time somebody gives you some passive-aggressive stuff this week, remember what you do. And the other thing is that one thing that I must say that a lot of the viewers talked about is that when they get it, they call it for what it is. And even if the person denies it outright, they still call it for what it is. I thought that was pretty passive-aggressive. So everybody have a great week. I'll be talking to you soon, so all the best. And just remember that starting this week, I only drive 3 days a week to work. It's going to be so strange. I'm only going to be working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yay! This is DearMamaSal saying, see you soon. Bye-bye for now.